This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I've got Steve Wendt with me. You've been here before, and you are with the North Grenville Community Theatre, and you're the director in the next play coming up.
I'm directing the next play, yeah. It's a delightful comedy, a little over 100 years old. It was written by A.A. Milne, whom you will remember later. He wrote Winnie the Pooh, and it is called Mr. Pym Passes By.
All right, so let's talk about, what's the storyline? What's Mr. Pym Passes By about?
Well,
without giving it away.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but this story is a typical kind of British comedy, sort of set in a country manor house, and the gentleman of the house, named George, is pretty happy there. He thinks everything's going well, and he's especially happy with the curtains, even though they're more than 100 years old. However, his wife Olivia would like new curtains. So that's really one of the underlying stories. Are we going to get new curtains or not? This is not Sound of Music, though. They're not going
to make clothes out of them.
They're not going to make clothes out of the
curtains.
Curtains.
Dress the children.
No, they aren't going to do that. Almost, though. But anyway, things seem to be going all right. And then Mr. Pym passes by. Who is Mr. Pym? We never really find out. He's this quirky guy that just passes by, just trying to get a little information and pass some, when people in those days used to visit, they carry a letter of introduction from one person to another. So he's dealing with a letter of introduction. Not much of a reason for Mr. Pym to get there. But it causes chaos. Because he says a thing and goes off to mail a letter, and whatever he says just throws the household into panic. There's also the story of the young lovers, and that's Dinah and Brian. And it's so sweet seeing how they were truly meant for one another, and yet, George isn't sure about Brian. So all these things come together into, as I said, chaos. It's kind of like, when a butterfly in the Pacific Ocean waves its wings and it causes a storm in Nebraska, something like that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, that's what this story is like.
All right.
It has a happy ending.
Oh, good. Now, we made a bit of a connection with A.A. Milne, too.
A.A. Milne.
Yes. There's Piglet in this.
Well.
And Piglet in Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know what it is about A.A. Milne and pigs, because, of course, Piglet is a really well-loved part of his children's books. But he put pigs in this play. Now, I'm not sure why. There's a sweet little pig named Arnold, the little black and white one. We don't find out much about the pigs, though, because Mr. Pym walks in again. Now, in the original play, there was also a piano. And so we're going to have a piano on set. Now, not all of our actors really played piano, but we're still going to get them to do some things with the piano. So that's another fun thing to see. All
right. Sounds like Mr. Pym is in the right place at the right time. All the time, whether he's passing by
That's almost a line out of the play.
Oh.
Is Mr. Pym kind of like an unfortunate visitor, or did he come at just the right time? It all depends on what happens to those curtains.
Oh, the curtains.
The curtains.
Wow.
Now, in this story, really there is another underlying theme, which is who's really running the house, George or Olivia? And then who's really smarter, the women or the men? This is going to be a great show to bring your mother to, because Mother's Day is May the 11th this year, and we're having a Mother's Day brunch, so it's limited seating possibilities, but it'd be a wonderful thing to bring your mother to, because not only would you get the brunch, but the story itself really is about the power of the mother.
Awesome.
Well, the power of women generally, not just the mother.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Sounds wonderful. It is May 7th, 9th, 10th, and the 11th, and it's like you say, Mother's Day is the 11th.
Yep.
You're going to have a brunch that day.
Yeah, May 7th. So the Wednesday the Friday and the Saturday are evening shows starting at 7:30.
Right.
And the Sunday show is at 1 o'clock, a matinee. We're selling tickets now on our website. Do you want me to name that?
Sure, yes, please.
ngct.ca. That's our website. And there are some ticket sales already ongoing. Some of the brunch tickets have been bought as we speak.
Excellent. It's only in a few weeks.
Well, it's kind of like a month from yesterday
Yes,
that
yes.
we open. And yeah.
And you're going to be at the Urbandale Theatre, and that's in the North Grenville Municipal Center as well, too.
That's right.
You're going to be following Mary Poppins, if anybody has seen that one from the youth group, too.
We're going to be following Mary Poppins, and it's going to be, we don't have to change really the country that we're showing the play in, and we don't have to change the time frame too much. So
Excellent,
I
excellent.
think you should see both. Go see it.
I saw Mary Poppins, and I was very happy with that one, so this one sounds equally as fun, too.
Yeah.
So how long have you been with the theater?
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. Sometime back, I think in the 80s was the first time I
Wow.
did something with this theater group. Back then, right now we call it the North Grenville Community Theater, but back then we called it Kemptville Players
Right.
Incorporated.
Right.
Same group. And yeah, the first show I did with them was one called We'll Meet Again. And we reprised that in Kemptville a few times with slightly different organizations, but that was my first visit with them.
Oh, okay. Now, have you done a lot of directing, or?
Yeah, I've done a lot of shows with them. The last one I did was last spring's show called Bloody Murder.
Okay.
And, probably directed more than a dozen plays with them.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, it takes a lot of talent, and to be a director too, like you have to help your actors be right. You know?
I guess so.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When I think of who really is important putting together a play, the author is really important. Of course.
Yes.
And the director is important too, kind of organizing things, getting things so that progress can be made, but never underrate the importance of the actors. I mean, they're the ones that get out on
Absolutely.
the stage and tell the story. At that point, the director just kind of becomes part of the audience.
Yeah. Once the play is on, you've done your job. Once the audience is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's the actors that I find most exciting. When you read a novel, that's kind of fun because you see what the author says and then create something in your mind. But when you see a play on stage, it starts with what the author wrote, but then each actor takes something and builds a character out of
Right.
that and adds so much more creativity. So live theater is really a wonderful experience because of the number of ingredients that go into making the final show.
And the author is depending on you to portray what they wrote too.
Yes, but I think the author of a play is expecting the actors to add something more. Like a lot of it is kind of like, here, take this, don't change these words, but what are you going to do with them?
Right.
And so it's really...
Make it your own.
Yeah, and I can say that for this play, which has 7 actors, every single one of them is making something special out of this show.
Making it theirs. Making it theirs. Oh, well, this sounds wonderful. Mr. Pym with 1M.
1M.
1M passes by. And that's going to be on May 7th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And once again, where do you get the tickets?
You can get the tickets if you want to buy a paper ticket. They'll be sold at B&H Community Grocers. And you can also buy them online at our website, which is ngct.ca.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much for putting this on, being a director, and coming here today and telling everybody about it too. So once again, Steve Wendt, the director at the North Grenville Community Theatre. Mr. Pym with 1M passes by.
Mr. Pym.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.